Now, are we spending too much time on social media? Well, not according to a report recently from the United Kingdom. It found that people who spend time on WhatsApp are less lonely. Let's unpack this more with clinical psychologist Lungile Lichesa. Lungile, very good morning. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Before we look at the dark side of social media, if there is one, let's talk about this report that says WhatsApp is actually good for us because people are less lonely because they use WhatsApp. What are your thoughts on that?
I've got mixed feelings about that because when we think lonely, typically you're thinking of people you don't have with you physically, but also in your life. So to a certain extent, yes, I can see how they say you're less lonely, but I imagine it can also feed into the loneliness. What happens when you're not on your phone and you're not speaking to people via WhatsApp?
Yep. You're
then left with the feelings of loneliness.
Is it a matter of loneliness or just being able to communicate? Because, and what is loneliness? Is it, do you want the physical contact, or is it just me being able to talk to somebody? Where are you? What are you doing? Are you all right? That type of thing. Because now there's the physical aspect is missing, isn't it?
Yes. I would say it's a mixture of both, because you could be in a room of people and still feel lonely. You could be alone and not feel lonely.
Yeah.
So I think it is a combination of both. But yes, I suppose if it helps, in reaching out to people, interacting with people who are not there, when you're having a low moment, you have someone to speak to, you don't necessarily have to physically be with the person, then I suppose to that extent, then it can help.
There are all the other aspects as well. We're more mobile these days. You can, when you look at away from the social media, the particular platforms, let's talk about having a phone with you all the time. And you're now under pressure if your phone buzzes to actually look at your phone.
Yes.
Whether it's an email, whatever it is, you're almost under pressure to pick it up and have a look, isn't it?
Yes, yes. That definitely takes away from being present in moments of life. If you're constantly checking your phone, waiting for your phone to ring, it beeps, you pick it up. At what point are you being fully present with the people that you're with?
And also, that also can be addictive, isn't it?
Yes.
A lot of people, I've seen so many people who can't live without their phone, and purely because of social media. It's not because of work. Yes. It becomes an addiction. And how bad can that get?
It can get very bad. It can get very bad where, for example, when it was down, when all the platforms were down, some people were probably feeling very distressed because now I don't know what to do with myself. Who am I speaking to? What am I doing? How am I present with myself?
Yeah. What about the positive aspects of being on social media as well? We're just talking about the fact that yes, it can be a bad thing in one side, but also, for me, you can also catch up on things, people you haven't met in a long time, you haven't seen. Yes. There's also we can use it in good ways, can't we?
Yes, we can. We can. There are pros and cons to it. It helps us to be able to reach out to people that have moved, possibly. What I find is that in schools now, it helps with teens and tweens in, reinforcing their creativity, giving them ideas, opening them up to different cultures, other aspects of the world. I've
got a 14-year-old, will be 14 this month, and they've got little group, WhatsApp groups and so forth that we always have to monitor, because you're always also worried about bullying as well, cyberbullying, but you can also be bullied on WhatsApp as well.
Absolutely, yes. And also children are they're more prone to peer pressure as well. So there's the cyberbullying, there's the harassment, and the peer pressure as well. So definitely parents need to monitor that very carefully and just kind of know what your child is doing on their phone and the various social media platforms. There's sexting, there's exposure to things that you wouldn't necessarily want your child exposed to.
What are the things to look out for?
I suppose with children, if they lose interest in being a child, and all they want to do is sit on their tablet or their phone, then that's a problem. Because when are they learning how to play? When are they learning how to interact? When are they learning how to spend time with family? Yeah.
And also as an adult as well, when do you start thinking to yourself, okay, this is a bit much. Maybe I need to step off and maybe just take a walk and leave my phone, do something away from my phone for 24 hours. When is it too much?
I think it becomes a lot when you don't do anything and you start losing productivity, where you look up and it's like, wow, so many hours have gone by and I haven't done anything. I've just been sitting on my phone. But I think we also need to be aware of what social media feeds. For example, people that are more prone to anxiety and depression and insecurities. The moment you start feeling more anxious about your life or insecure, then I would say maybe take a step back from the social media platforms.
Because there are also other pressures as well, because everybody, once you're on social media, you post something, you want to see how many people are reacting to what I've said. And I think the threshold now is if you have 30,000 followers, you are now a celebrity, you're now an influencer, and so many people want to reach that. Just talk to us about some of those pressures, because yes, people might, you don't want to feel lonely, but you might feel rejected because nobody's following you.
A lot of people get the sense of self from external validation, which is where then it becomes a problem when you don't have followers or people don't like your posts. Then you start questioning yourself. You start questioning different aspects of yourself. It definitely feeds into your insecurities.
Okay.
And it can make you feel as though your life is not as awesome or as great as what you're seeing, forgetting that people don't post the negative aspects of their lives most people, on Facebook and Instagram.
That's very, very, very true. Clinical psychologist Lungile Chiesa, thank you so much for coming through. The pros and cons of social media. 30,000 users and you become an influencer. Let's see what happens. All right.